Yo guys, what are you saying? Today I've got some really exciting news. So usually you know that my channel is usually about me talking about the process of me buying my first property, being a first time buyer, XYZ and all that lovely good jazz. But today I'm actually here to announce that I'm not the owner of just one property, I'm the owner of two. And that property is all the way over here. So, how did we get here? I'm not gonna lie, plans changed very quickly. I bought this house, as you know, 2 years ago, and I absolutely loved it. I've made so many memories, laughs, jokes, near tears, fun times, birthdays, Christmases, all sorts. Like, it's been really great, and I think from this house it's added so much value into my life in terms of a mental stability perspective as well. But all good things must come to an end, and even though I love this house, the new property, as you've seen, is kind of like the new project now. This house will be turned into a buy-to-let property, so it will be my investment vehicle, and I'll actually move into my new property once it's done. I cannot say anything negative about this house. This house has been good to me. I've been good to it as well. So yeah, man, I'm looking forward to the kind of like the next chapter of my life. And this is the very first time I will actually become a landlord. So I actually become now living the dream of actually becoming a property investor and actually building that property empire as well. And this happens to be on the same street, which is even better as well. So guys, I'm not going to lie, the very first time I noticed that property was when I purchased this house a couple of years ago, and the estate agent was actually congratulating me, saying, "Oh, Michael, well done on the purchase. How's the property across the road doing?" And I was like, what do you mean the property across the road? And it was like, "Oh, the overgrown property with all the trees and plants and stuff." And I was like, "What are you talking about?" I look at I'm still on the phone to him. I look at my window and I'm seeing this like forest across the road. I'm like, how did I not notice this before? Like, it was so mad. And so that was the very first time I actually proper encountered that property. And from there, I'm not gonna lie, it piqued my interest. I was very intrigued. It was so mad that that property was actually in some of my other videos as well. You actually see it when I'm working on the house, and you can see the condition it was then. Again, did not notice it. The biggest time I think it really hit me was during summer, when it was like the birds were outside, they were chirping. I'm like, why is it so loud outside? I look across the road, literally, and I'm seeing a nest, or literally a bird's nest with birds and pigeons going in there as well. And I was just like, yeah, this is a madness. But yeah, that's the first time I noticed the house. So I'm not gonna lie, I've been plotting on the property for a very long time. As soon as I saw it and as soon as I noticed it, I was plotting on it. And so what I did is I just asked the neighbors, like, what was the situation on the property. I found out that the guy's been living in that property for over 30 years. So like, he's probably one of the oldest residents that's living in that property at the moment. And then I noticed that the trees were being cut, the garden was being attended to, and I was like, what's happening? They're building a drive there. So I saw someone that was working on it. I just went up to him, I asked him, well, what's happening with the property? Is everything okay? Are you trying to sell it? X, Y, and Z. And he said, listen, I don't know what's happening, but I had a client. She told me that she wants a garden cut, the drive sorted out. I said, all right, cool. Tell me what's happening. And so that's kind of how it started. And I kind of materialized the conversation from there. And I think that was like in 2021. And so if I have a video, I actually queued a video of the conversation I had with the guy, so you can see the conversation we had and how intrigued I was at that time. And this is, again, a year and a half before I actually purchased the house. So this is how you know that I was plotting and scheming on the house for a very long time.
Do you know what's happening with this house?
Yeah, bloke lives in there.
Oh, okay.
No, he just come out from a major operation.
Was it the family that got you to come and do this?
It's something to do with the bloke, but I talked to the lady who got me the job.
Oh, okay.
She got me through my build.
So fast forward like a year and a half, I realized that there was a lot of people going in and out of the property, like clearing out the property, clearing out the man's stuff, and I was like, what's happening? So I go across the road, I speak to the gentleman that's organizing like the clear out, and he said, yeah, he has a client, and the client told him to clear out the property. I said, what happened to the man living here? And he said, oh, he's currently in hospital. A few weeks later, I found out that he actually passed away. And so they were clearing out his house to basically get it ready to be sold. And so I was like, okay, cool. Like, it was unfortunate, but I knew that I actually really wanted the property. So at that point, I had spoken to him, I liaised with him, brought him over to my house, gave him some food, we watched some football, and basically I wanted to get out who the solicitor or the person was at the time that was organising the sale of that property. Found out it was a solicitor, got the number, called her literally the next day and said, listen, look, I'm very, very interested in buying that property. I live across the road. I've been there for the last 2 years. I know the situation with it. Can I get a viewing? She was like, are you serious? Blah, blah, blah. Asked me all these questions. I said, yes, I am. The very next day, she comes down to the property. We organised the viewing. And yeah, that was it. For me, I'm not gonna lie, you always hear buying the worst house on the best street and all sorts of things. And for me, I was very, very intrigued. I knew that if I saw a property in that condition, first thing that was going into my mind, I can't lie, is just discounts. Can I get a property below market value? Can I get under the asking price? How much can I go? It got to a point because I didn't believe anyone lived in that property. That I actually checked online to check if the council was selling it, if the house was derelict. I wanted to find out as much information as possible about that property. So that was the main thing that kind of drove me towards that property, because I thought that I could definitely get something below market value and kind of just get a good deal from it. No, I actually did not use an estate agent. This was a direct to vendor deal. So which basically means that it was just me, the seller, and our solicitors as well. So the benefit from the seller side is that for them, they have no selling fees, right? So there's no estate agents involved, no estate agent fees or any like kerfuffle around that. And from my perspective, there's no competition. It's literally just me. As I mentioned before, that due to the fact that I tried to be a bit greedy in terms of negotiation, I almost lost the property and they were looking to put it on auction, and I wanted to do everything in my power to make sure it did not go to auction, because I knew it was going to go for significantly higher than what I was negotiating it for. So that's why I was very, very happy that I managed to get a direct to vendor deal. All the work that I've been doing on this property did not go in vain. So I was improving the value of the property by like painting the walls, doing the carpets, doing the bathrooms, the ensuite. So I got the house revalued, and it came back and the house was worth £80,000 more than what I bought it for. I was like, right, okay, cool, that's kind of nice. So what I did is that I just basically took out the equity, the money that was in that property, and I used it to buy the other house, simply like that. However, I go into much more detail in another video about that whole process, the numbers and everything, if you feel really intrigued about that, because I think there's a lot of things that people may not know about the buying process, and I would really want to share with you. Quickly, so just to clarify, all the money used to purchase the second property was actually from the equity gained from the first property, so the value going up. So no money came out from my account personally. All the money was actually accumulated from this property or the first property to purchase the second one. Stamp duty, the deposit, everything, solicitor's fees came from the first house. I'll be honest with you, like the plan is actually always changing, because money, I'm not gonna lie, it's money. That's what it is. Like cost of living crisis, and then man, it is expensive to do a lot of renovations. So my aim is just to make the house livable right now, because currently I'm still on my first property and I'm looking to move over to that property within the next month or so. So I'm trying to do all the kind of basics and necessity to make the house livable, and from that point I'll kind of go from there. I do have plans and some drawings over what I want to do, but you're gonna have to stay tuned to the channel to see that stuff. So yeah. Final thing before I go, I just want to thank everybody for their support. I know from a YouTube perspective that I haven't been as consistent as I want to be, and I feel like this year I'm actually really trying to push it out as well. I have a lot of content with the new house that I'm trying to release and get out there, but it's just difficult. So guys, I need the encouragement, I need the support. But I just want to thank you for everyone that supported me along the journey and that support me so far. I'm one step closer to my dream of being that kind of property landlord that I always wanted to be. So yeah, thanks guys. But till another video, see you soon in a bit. Peace.